Welcome back to Showtime on Trust TV. My name is still Chimelli, and this is our interview sit-down segment. Now, our guest today is a creative who has learned to grow without the noise. Over the years, he has moved through different seasons of visibility, reinvention, and quiet building. He has chosen depth over rush and intention over imitation. He's a musician, a thinker, and a builder, someone who understands that longevity in the creative world is not just about talent, but about clarity, discipline, and staying rooted in who you are. You may know him as the 2013 Nigerian Idol winner or the founder of True Art Mover, a platform driven by purpose, movement, and honest creative expression. Please welcome Moses Obi to the studio. Hi!
Hi, I'm blushing. Oh my God.
Was your disco bubbulated?
It was this bubble, all of it. All of the above. Wow. I'm actually like, oh, but thank you. That was so sweet of you.
Thank you.
Oh,
thank
nice.
you.
But thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to have you here in
My
the
pleasure
studio.
to be here.
Okay, so I have a lot of questions and we have so little time.
Okay, we're going to run through it.
Yes. Yes, get ready.
Let's go.
Okay, so first of all, from everything, you know, we've seen that you've come a long way. You've come a very long way in this entertainment journey. Now, I want to know, who is Moses Obi right now in this season of your life?
In this season of my life, who am I? I've always said life is a never-ending journey of self-discovery. I'm just a man who's searching for happiness and contentment.
Oh.
You know, and that applies to every aspect of my life, from love to work to family relationships to my relationships with my pets. It's really about finding contentment and happiness right now. You know, so I try to do the things that bring me genuine joy. I try to do the things that feel true to purpose and true to who I am and who I want to be. Things that feel true to my heart, you know, things that feel true to my craft. So yeah, I think that's me.
Oh, that's really great. So funny enough, my second question to you was something that, you know, you just talked about, right? In your journey of finding contentment as a man, what have you started to unlearn, or what have you unlearned on the way as a creative, both as a creative and as a man?
That's a tricky question, because it's a lot. And there's stuff that you unlearn and then you relearn, because you then realize later on you sort of just learned it wrongly the first time. So even like being true to your craft, okay, as a creative, as an artist, finding the balance of, sorry, I'm going to go slightly off kilter and technical, but finding the balance between doing stuff that's actually commercial, that makes your career commercially viable, and then that still feels true to your creative talent, understanding what leverage really is. Leverage isn't always, this is who I am, so you should do this for me. Leverage sometimes is, this is what I can bring to the table. You know, it's like when people say, you should ask your significant other, what do they bring to the table? No, love. You need to ask yourself,
what do you
bring to the table? Because that determines what you can ask for in return.
Exactly.
You know, and in starting up my own company and getting into events and creative consulting and the tech space, I have had to achieve a deeper level of understanding of what leverage really is. It's not always showy and flashy and the light. Sometimes it's just quiet listening of what the other party stands to benefit from, you know, being or partnering with you. So yeah, stuff like that.
Okay. We're going to come back to that. So talking about, because you moved to the creative angle a bit. Now, talking about creativity as a creative in the creative space, let's say as a musician, do you think that musicians owe the public consistency, no matter how draining it is, or do you just have to owe yourself honesty in your craft?
For me, I believe in being honest to you, because it's a lot to be an artist, especially when you do art that's very true to your soul.
Yeah.
Every time I get on stage, a part of me is bared, and unless you're a performer, you will not understand how draining that is, not just on a physical level, but on like a personal and spiritual level. Because when you connect to the art that you're putting out there and you're delivering it to people, it takes from you.
Yes.
In as much as you're pulling
Yes.
from, your source of inspiration and you're pulling from the ethos, it still takes from you because you have to give it out to the audience, you have to give it out to your listeners, you have to give it out to the people attending your show. And I tell people, you know what, take the time you need. I know when they go, oh, ideal business practice means that, oh, you need to be consistent, and I get it, work has to happen, but you need to learn to take a break. You need to learn to treat yourself with the love and care and respect that you need to decide you deserve.
Yeah.
So that's where I stand. I mean, yeah, there are times where you have to lock in.
Yes.
Everybody has been saying 2026 is the year of locking in.
Yes.
And I love it. I'm like, yeah, let's lock in this year so that next year we can chill out a bit and breathe. And that's where I stand on the matter.
Okay. So now talking about creative processes and drawing inspiration, what is your creative process like? What is a typical day for you as a creative?
My creative process is rather chaotic and erratic.
Okay.
It's not tied necessarily to one thing. Like, okay, let's do music. Like with music, I tell people most times the songs come to me. It's not I thought of this song. No. It's that I listened and I happened to hear it. And it's not like someone's playing it, but you hear it. And most times, and I feel like in conversations I've had with other songwriters and musicians and performers, some of them can relate to this, where when you first get the song, when the inspiration gives you the song, when the source gives you the song for the first time, you see the whole picture. Because it's like a full, live, immersive performance that you are engaged in. And you have to hold on to the memory long enough to be able to write it out.
Quickly.
And get it all done.
Yeah.
And sometimes I've had music that came to me in the matter of minutes, where I wrote everything from verse to chorus to bridge and the whole arrangement in like under 15, 20 minutes. I've had songs that took me about 2 years to finish.
Yeah.
Because there's a song I really love, Why'd You Love Me? And it took me 2 years to finish because I kept telling people, it feels like I haven't yet had the experience of what the second verse has to be built on. I haven't yet reached the level of maturity or understanding that the second verse needed to be birthed from. And it took me 2 years to get there. So it's chaotic, it's erratic, it's never overly streamlined, but that's what being a creative is.
Yes.
We present to the world in a sense that can be understood, in an order that can be experienced, the chaos of the beauty that is all around us. It's like when you hear sound artists put together various random things from just random. I mean, a drum is just a piece of cloth over wood.
Exactly.
Strings are just somebody tied rope, and then you have guitars. Violins, the same thing. Even flutes and trumpets, somebody blew into a pipe and went...
And put some holes.
The randomness of it all. As a creative, as an artist, your duty is to express all of that in a way that the audience can immerse themselves in a way that resonates with them on some sort of level. It doesn't always have to be, deep. Sometimes it can just be a way that they can relate to, that gets them moving, that makes them forget their worries. We, especially as Nigerians, we like music that gets us moving because we are going through a lot. Jesus Christ. We go through a lot in this country.
Tell me about it.
But yeah.
That music is like an escape for us a lot of times.
And it is what it is, but those various spectrums, you have to give it out because people have to have that.
Yes.
It's a duty and it's a burden, but it's also a blessing.
Yes, it is. Funny enough is what you said about the instruments, I have never looked at them that way. Honestly, I have never just looked at a drum and said, oh, this is just cloth over something. And I've never looked at a flute and said, oh, somebody just looked at wood and said, you know what, let's just...
if I did this, wait, this actually sits in...
Do you get, how did you even know the keys? Like, how did you know if you close one hand and you... Like, how does that even work? This is such a beautiful perspective. I have never thought about it this way. Thank you very much for that. I am going to carry this on forever.
My pleasure. I'm glad I was able to say something.
Okay, so now talking about music, we know that you've reinvented yourself a couple of times. And with what you said also, you know, your creative process, the type of songs and all of that. How has your relationship with music changed over time? Like, what has it taught you? What have you picked from it?
As an artist, the honest truth is your relationship with your art might be the most toxic relationship you ever experienced. No, I'm being very true. See, my voice even changed. Like my whole demeanor.
Like your whole demeanor, you were like, okay, now this is getting real. Let's calm down. We need to dig deep to find this.
But it's the truth. Your relationship with your art can be the most toxic because it will demand of you in ways that almost no living creature around you will ask. From your time to your resources to your peace of mind to the stability of your very soul, it will put a pressure on you that you will most probably never be able to fully articulate. And it's just comes with the territory of being an artist. And so over time, I spent years experimenting with my music, experimenting with various kinds of sounds and vibes. I spent time trying on different like music branding outfits and personas. Like, oh, do I want to present myself as this? Do I want to? And it took me a while to just embrace the seeming eccentricity, because that's what it looked like at the time. That, oh, I was doing a lot of random things, but by embracing that randomness, I slowly seemed to have finally just found my niche.
Yeah.
You know, in regards to my sound that encapsulates all the seeming randomness, but then brings it together in a way that is actually cohesively presented and presentable. So, I mean, yeah. It's been an interesting relationship with music.
Interesting,
but it's been beautiful.
Toxic, but beautiful.
And very fulfilling and rewarding. But yeah, it's been toxic.
That has to come in. Okay, so talking about this relationship that you have with music, is there a particular sound or message that you are intentionally avoiding in your creativity, but you know that this is something you're very familiar with and it feels like a lot of time it calls you, but intentionally you're like, nah, I don't want to go there. Is there any at all?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
I've learned to lean in to what feels natural to me, musically speaking. And they use that as a springboard to diverge into other sounds and other styles and other. So I feel like that's just part of bringing your own originality into what you do. I was saying to a vocal student of mine the other day that sometimes if you're trying to score a song and it goes, ooh, and you can't hit it, try doing A-E-D-Do, like, find a way that makes it work for you, because you are an individual. The person who wrote it in a way that they saw in their mind. They probably had a specific individual, maybe themselves in mind when they created it, but you need to find a way that it sits honestly with you and that you can express it fluently and honestly. So with any sort of sounds I've been trying to avoid that actually do resonate with me. At this point, they've all been blended into the awesomeness of what I try to create and put out there.
That's great. That's wonderful. Yeah, I'm glad that you talked about a student of yours, because I was about to ask you about other artists, even though maybe you can relate and you can talk from your own experience. But what is will I say, a piece of art or something that an artist needs to embrace in order to move beyond the level that they are at a particular time? But a lot of artists do not actually, maybe they find it difficult to do, maybe they feel it's tough, maybe they're just unwilling.
So it's a matter of choice.
Okay.
Sometimes. And I've made the choice to probably even go contrary to this, but you now need to define what success is to you in the very first place.
Okay.
And that is what I think a lot of artists have not fully done. They define their success by what society says, the metric is as an artist for you to be successful. Jesus Christ, why am I keep this line? But I was saying to somebody a couple of days ago that I have performed in front of audiences of thousands, and I've performed in small rooms of like 20 to 50 people. And at this point, I honestly prefer performing in smaller spaces. It's more intimate, it's more honest for the kind of craft that I do. There are certain people who, the kind of music that they do, they need that large audience, they need the energy. And I get it and I relate to it. For me, the metrics of success as an artist, as me personally as an artist, is not necessarily about having 1 million streams on Spotify or getting booked for like the major A-line gigs. I define it as success that people listen to me, like people witness my performance, and weeks or months later, they still go, oh wow, I still remember the feeling I had.
Yeah.
I remember how much of an awesome experience it was watching you do what you do.
Yes.
And for me, that just makes it worth it. You know, knowing that, oh, in the little visibility or in the little noise that surrounds my name or my brand, I get called for events. People say, oh, we actually enjoy, we want to sit and listen to you do what you do.
Again.
That I can sit and do. I've done what, 3-4 editions of Moses Obi Live over the last couple of years, and my annual show. And people paid money. People paid good money. Come and watch. No. I don't know if you get it. Like,
yes.
As an artist, for me as an artist, there is no better validation than people saying, I'm going to take out of my time and resources to just come and experience what you do. And I will be fulfilled in experiencing what you do. Yeah. That makes it worth it.
Yes, exactly.
That makes it worth it for me.
Exactly.
So for other artists, it might be about the money, it might be about the numbers, it might be about the fame, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm not putting what your reason, but when you define what that is, you then have to pay the price for getting what that is. Because imagine what it is to be Beyonce. Barely having like a personal life, barely being able to just do whatever.
Yes.
You can't say, oh, you just want to sit down and eat roasted corn on the road. It's impossible.
You can't even walk out to the road to go and buy the roasted corn.
Like, so there is a price for all of it. And it's just about understanding what your metric is and being willing to pay the price to achieve that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you've talked a lot about, paying prices, artists, to show that not just about you, but you've had a couple of people under your wings as well. So tell us about True Art Mover. I love the name. I just love the name so much.
And it rolls off the tongue.
It's just like Mover. Oh my God. I love the name so much.
Thank you.
So tell us about it, and what lessons of leadership have you actually learned from running that company?
I started True Art Mover as a creative movement to facilitate developing actual industry structure for musicians and for creatives. Because I realized, I moved back to Abuja from Lagos around 2017, and I realized there weren't, for starters, like enough platforms that allowed artists to showcase their craft to the relevant stakeholders and audience who would appreciate and potentially pay for that craft. And so we started out by, our first platform was called Cradle. It was like an acoustic session we ran for about 2 years. We had Sounds of Africa that was more focused on culturally infused music and art. And we've just grown with that over time, where we do various events and showcases. We handle creative direction and ideation for artists and for brands and businesses. We provide creative consultation services. Just, there's a wide gamut of what we offer. But what it started as was that, as a creative, we need to develop the structure that we see lacking. And from that, you then see that, how do I phrase this? There are very tangible results, because once there is the presence of a structure, you realize there are so many other players who have just been waiting for a structure to develop for them to show up and showcase. You realize that there are media partners who have literally just been waiting for stuff to happen. There are location partners who are willing to work with you. There are just so many people out there who are willing to fill in the gap. They just need to see that, there's a gap right there. And what it's taught me is that sometimes you just have to get up and run. Honestly, as a creative, one of the things we're generally blessed with is the capacity to creatively ideate and visualize and then just execute blindly.
Yes.
It doesn't matter whether we aren't fully skilled. It doesn't matter whether the resources aren't really there. But being able to just pick up with an idea and run with it. You need to lean on that skill heavily as an artist and a creative. Because a lot of times, especially in Nigeria or in other regions where there isn't like a full solid structure that you can tap into, you just need to create the structure that you know needs to exist.
Yes.
And you will witness that other players that are needed will turn up and pop up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Running my company has definitely taught me to run blindly.
Oh my God, this has been such an interesting conversation. I want to ask a lot of questions. I have like a lot. But maybe we'll have to reschedule this, because with the way they are calling my name, if I ask another question, somebody will turn up here. So, but before we go...
Oh, dear.
Oh, yes, of course. You knew I was coming to that. So we have like a couple of seconds.
Okay.
But would like to hear something from you. When you were talking, you hit the notes already. I can't even replicate what you did, because bro. But you hit the notes, and I'm sure people were like, okay, we want to hear him. So right now, you have the floor just before we wrap up.
Can I just Akanchawa? Hey, Akanchawa.
Should I start dancing?
Okay, for real.
Okay.
I'm just going to do the chorus for one of my favorite songs, Broken Glass. So, yes. Please do not judge my voice, just listen to the message of the song. Thank you very much. Watch me walking boldly through this broken glass. I'm bleeding, not screaming from my past. I'm watching my heart sit beside me. I'm watching my heart sit beside me. Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Moses Obi.
Yep.
Thank you so much. That was so beautiful.
Thank you so much for
that
having me.
That was so beautiful. I think maybe one day we'll just call you and just have like a small free
I would
performance.
like that. That would
you
be
would
fun.
like that? Oh my God. Thank you. We'll work on that.
That would
Thank
be
you.
fun.
It's been a pleasure having you
Same
here.
here.
The conversation
Same
has been
here.
amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. That is it for us here on Showtime on Trust TV. Thank you for staying tuned to this episode. Join us again, same time, same station for another lovely episode. My name is still Chimelli.